Today we're out looking at all the caves around the Cocklebiddy area, and we've come across this one. It's called
the Mara El Evelyn Cave.
There you go. And it's a beauty.
Yeah.
So it's located about 5 kilometres west of the roadhouse, and you come in about 1 kilometre on the track. Yeah, totally fine for two-wheel drive cars if you take it slow.
Yeah.
So apparently it's 300, you've got the sinkhole and you've got about a 300 metre long tunnel. There's 2 chambers, one's half flooded and the other one is totally flooded. So there you go. We'll go and check out a few others, but it's a good one. Alrighty, while we're heading to the Cocklebiddy Cave, which is further out that way, a few more k's, we've come across the Capstan Cave. It's only a small looking cave. Can't find too much information on it, so if I do I'll put it down below, but it's got a, yeah, it doesn't seem to go as far. I'm not quite sure how many chambers or tunnels are below it. But again, as we've mentioned a few times, all these caves are part of the Nullarbor Plain. They're all catacombs. Where we're staying at the Cocklebiddy Roadhouse, to one of the guys there, and he was saying that just south of the roadhouse, you can drive along, and if you sort of tap your foot on the ground, you can hear the hollowness of the ground. So yeah, it's a cool area. It's just so many underground caves, and a few of them just pop up in the surface like this. So good. Go and check out the Cocklebiddy Cave now. Just travelling along, and old mate wandering across the road.
Yeah, look at him. Oh, he's so cute.
Isn't he beautiful? Little shingleback. Hello. What are you doing? I'm not hurting you, I'm just saying g'day. Hello. Big mouth. Yep, shingleback.
Is he?
Beautiful. He's out here, back of nowhere. Been driving for a few k's now off the highway. Still got a few k's before we get to the Cocklebiddy Cave. But just check out this Nullarbor. There's not much out here. What they do is they use their tail. I'm not sure if it's for water or for food. It's for food. They stock up their tail, and then they can survive for a lot longer. He must have eaten for a little bit because his tail's very thin. Usually the tail is very similar to their head shape. As can be seen on this information board here at the Cocklebiddy Cave, you actually see how massive it is. The distance of the cave is different sections.
The cave's entrance, a luminous limestone vault 25 metres high and 50 metres wide, In the dark distance, roof meets water and tunnel begins. And as you can see in this picture, there's a man swimming with a camera. The water was so clear that swimming through it felt like drifting through air. And here are some animals that live in the cave. They include spiders, centipedes, slaters and insects such as cockroaches and beetles. These cave dwellers typically have no eyes and have a pale body and lack pigment.
Well, the next cave on our list for today's exploration is the Pannikin Plains Cave. It's just a couple of kilometres sort of east of the Cocklebiddy Roadhouse. It's actually the location of where a massive cave-in occurred on the 2nd of December 1988.
Yes.
There were 22 divers here,
Yes.
and they were doing an exploration to swim to the end of the cave. I think it was a world record.
Yeah.
But they'd been here for a week or so setting up. It was a major expedition, and on the final day of them starting to pack up, a massive storm came along and dumped a huge amount of water in a short amount of time, and all that flooded down into the cave. Two of the divers were fortunate enough to be close to the surface and weren't harmed, and the rest of the expedition were down in the cave packing up, and fortunately they survived the cave-in, the deluge and the rescue that followed that. But as you can see around here, with the surrounding plains being slightly higher, it's like we're in a little bit of a basin here. The ground's a bit higher up, so all the water would have, of course, flowed down into this cave, and it's very fortunate.
Yes, it would have been very, very scary down there when that happened. Just thank goodness everyone was safe, got out safe and sound.
Yep.
So.
The whole entrance started to fall in, didn't it?
Yeah.
So yes, here we are at Pannikin Plains Cave, just east of Cocklebiddy. We've just arrived here at the Panican sinkhole. It's only a few hundred metres further up the road from the Pannikin Cave entrance, and wow, you can certainly see the limestone rocks, can't you?
Yeah.
It's actually very similar to a sinkhole that we went to in Mount Gambier where they'd made a garden.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing.
So it's limestone. Again, the water seeps through, eats it away, and the ground drops.
It's amazing to think that you just drive along the Nullarbor and just off side roads, you come in a couple of k's and you've got all this sort of stuff in here.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's been awesome, this Nullarbor trip.
Yeah.
I suppose one way you could just drive the Nullarbor and think it's a boring plain drive. Yeah. However, there's so much to see here.
Hi everyone, guess where we're standing at the moment? We're standing near the 90-mile straight, Australia's longest straight road, 146.6 kilometres.
Pretty good. We've just topped up a bit of fuel, so we should get to the end of it okay.
Yes.
But yeah, just add to our Nullarbor experience. We're now going to hit this long straight, and pretty exciting.
Yes, and I'm about to put a sticker on the pole.
Yep.
To let them know that living life to the max has been here.
That's right. And look, we've got heaps of places to put it.
Yes, we have.
Right here, I reckon.
Right there?
Right there.
Okay. Oh, hang on.
How good is that?
Perfect.
So good. Standing here in the Baldonia Museum, part of the Roadhouse. And I'm actually standing here in front of a piece of what's supposed to be Skylab. I'm not sure if it is a true piece of the Skylab or just a replica. But for those who may remember, Skylab crashed down into the outback of Western Australia back on July 12th, 1979. I kind of remember it, so it's pretty scary. But yeah, it was a space station, and apparently it came down through the flight path. Most of it crashed in the Indian Ocean. However, a fair bit of it came down here in Baldonia. It actually says here that the American President, Jimmy Carter, made a phone call to the Baldonia Roadhouse the day after the crashing to apologise for an American space junk landing on Australian soil. Also here in the museum, it has a feature on the Ngadju and the Mooning people. They were the Aboriginal groups who were custodians of the Western Nullarbor, located on the southeastern coastal region of Western Australia. Then Ngadju defined their traditional boundaries on the Israelite Bay to Norsemen and Trans-Australian Railway line to Madura and Twilight Cove. The Mooning boundaries ranged from East Baldonia through to Twilight Cove, Eucla into South Australia. Well, g'day.
Hi everyone. Well, we've made it across the Nullarbor and we're here at Baldonia.
Yep, we're at the end of the Nullarbor.
Yes.
We started off this episode at Pildappa Rock. That was great. We had a little picnic up on the rock.
Yes.
And then we just headed west, and we've been going for 8 or so days.
Yeah, we have.
And it has been an amazing experience.
Yeah.
So much to see and do here in the Nullarbor.
Yes.
Oh, what have we done? We've done the Bunda Cliffs.
Yes, we've done all the caves.
Yep, that was great. It's so much history.
Yeah.
It's just another amazing experience that we've had on this journey across Australia. So, yep, we'll wrap it up in this episode, and we're sort of heading off to Esperance and then heading around the southwestern corner of WA.
Yeah.
With a couple of flies here.
Yes, lots of flies.
Heading to Albany.
Yeah.
And of course, We all know Albany is the location of where the Anzacs left. It was the last port in Australia before they left and went over to Turkey to fight at Anzac Cove. So we'll have a bit of a chat about that later. But for now...
Yep. We'll see you next time in our next video. Bye.
See you guys.